Hey there YouTube. Today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on installing the UTRUSTA automatic garbage door opener from Ikea. This is actually made by Blum, B-L-U-M. They just rebadge it for Ikea and it's like half the price, so save some money, buy it from Ikea. So the opener does require power. I had to drill a hole in my garbage cabinet and my appliance cabinet there to access my little outlet that I left in for my kitchen island. If your house was built recently, it should have power to the island. It might not have outlets on the island, but look around the cupboards, look in the basement, see if there's power ran to this somehow, because the newer code, well, I think it's like 2021, says you have to have power ran somewhere to the island. And it's exactly for things like this, I think. Unfortunately, the cord does not come off of the plug. The two prongs come off the plug, but you could risk breaking it, so I wouldn't advise that. So I just drilled a square hole in exactly the shape of the plug and shoved it through, and I'm going to be patching that up someday. But yeah, the kit comes with two of these little pusher things, the servo, the little T-bar that helps you line this up, and of course the transformer / power cord. Now for most of this, just go ahead and follow the Ikea instructions. They're pretty good. But the notes I want to give you for the Kraftmaid install are as follows. Alright, so the first step is to take off the rubber, I don't know what these things are called, the things that keep it from slamming. Oh, cool, they just come out. Then it says to install these things that come with it on the midpoint of the drawer. They're basically just springy things that give it a little oomph when you slam on it. So push it back out. Not sure if this will work since this is an IKEA cabinet, but we're going to give it a shot. The face of my cabinet is 3/4. And this expects it to be much deeper because there's nothing to screw into where the hole is if you want this flush. I'm glad I checked because this is another great example of the idiocy that is Kraftmaid. This bracket here that stabilizes the front of the drawer to the actual drawer is deeper than the rubber stopper. So the plastic hits and not the rubber stopper anyway. Great. Alright, I had to do some Googling, but I discovered that these are only plastic covers. They're not important to the structure of the drawer. Oh, yep, there's a metal bracket under there. I just gotta get this off. Alright, it's sliding off. Ah, there we go. This is pretty thick, so I'm going to take these covers off because I'd rather have no cover and not have the drawer stick out. I don't care if people are looking at my brackets. Alright, now it should shut better. Oh yeah, much closer. Alright, so I really hate Kraftmaid cabinets. The hole here that's supposed to receive the pointy thing on the rear of the drawer, the hole isn't big enough, so I need to widen it before the drawer face will set flush with the face of the cabinet. Or I should say the drawer rear, I don't know what they call it, the back face. So I'm going to do that. Alrighty, suck the sawdust out of the hole. So I finally got this figured out. The biggest problem I was having, and why it wasn't working properly, was because I did not screw in the alignment strip. I was just using the adhesive, and it turns out that the adhesive wasn't strong enough and was scooching around in there. Once I screwed that in, and then closed the drawer on the sensor on the servo with the little yellow protector on it. It was perfect, and I just used a punch to mark the center of the holes, screwed in the screws, and it worked right away. I did have to shim this out a little bit to actually make contact with the drawer face. I also had to drill another hole for the screw. Here's the other one just so you can see. They want you to use that hole, but I couldn't, so I had to put a hole in sideways there. I just drilled a new hole. I pre-drilled the hole, of course, and used the included screws at a slight angle, making sure not to penetrate the face of the cabinet, and no problem. I will note, while I was testing this, I came to the simple conclusion that you don't really need these springy thingies, and the servo will sense that you bumped it if you have any play in your drawers, which if you have Kraftmaid, you're going to have a lot of play. For my initial setup, I actually didn't even have this little popper thing screwed in at all. I just used a shim and made, what is that, 1/8 of an inch shim out of 2/16 shims. And taped it here to give it my clearance, and then kind of pushed the drawer in to calibrate before I screwed that down. And the only reason I actually put that stopper in there is because when the drawer was shut, the face of the drawer was just a hair beneath this drawer because the Kraftmaid cabinet isn't true. So you can see how this one kind of sticks out, is a little proud of the top drawer. Well, this one was inset, so it looked really obvious. So I just used the included Blum stopper there, or popper, whatever the heck they're called, to kind of level this face out. Can't do anything about this. I've already tried to get rid of it, but it's always just going to be there, and I'm okay with it because I can do this. So again, if you're like me and you're having a heck of a time with this, just pro tip, screw in that screw, because the Ikea instructions don't say to screw in the actual T-strip, the alignment strip. They just say to use the adhesive. Nowhere does it say to screw in the alignment bar. Like all the way through the instructions, everything's super clear except for screwing in that T. So once I did that, this thing would have went so much easier. I spent like an hour messing around, taking the drawer in, taking the drawer out. I should have screwed in that T. So yeah, that's all the things I had to do to make this opener work with a Kraftmaid wastebasket drawer. Hope the video helped. Thanks for watching. And yes, you can also just kind of pull the handle and it'll open it for you. Pretty much any jarring motion sets off the servo. So if you push on it steadily, it doesn't turn it on. It has like lean protection, it says in the manual, but basically it's because it doesn't sense that quick shock. If I slowly remove myself, see how it doesn't open? But if I were to push in and then quickly pull out, but if you just tap, it opens. I'll just open it with basically just putting a swift flick on the handle and it opens. And also, if the power is out, I just killed the power to this. It still works just fine like a normal drawer. No problem at all. Some people have even wired batteries to these when they don't have power. Luckily I ran power to my island, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, hope this video helped. Thanks for watching. God, that's fun. It's one of my new favorite hobbies. It's called garbage ball. See how many times you can open and close it before you break your drawer. Whoop.